Hello, it's Iino. Today I would like to talk about the theme, labor management negotiations at North American West Coast ports is still up in the air. The shipping industry, and Biden administration officials had hoped that, labor negotiations on the North American West Coast, which began in May, would conclude last fall. However, there has been no sign of progress in the long-stalled dockworker talks, causing anxiety for U.S. retailers, who rely on the West Coast, to import goods from Asia. According to officials, the lack of progress since the summer has not slowed major discussions, such as wages and automation. This latest round of negotiations, on the west coast of North America covers more than 22,000 dockworkers, at 29 ports stretching from California to Washington state. The dockworkers are currently working without a contract, because their last multi-year contract expired on July 1, 2022, and both sides could not agree on an extension. Some importers are still diverting furniture, clothing, and electronics to East Coast and Gulf Coast ports, in case labor negotiations break down and lead to work stoppages and strikes. Many retailers will continue to divert goods this way until they are confident that an agreement can be reached. Officials at the ports of Los Angeles and Long Beach, two of the nation's busiest container handling ports, said the detour were responsible for a double-digit drop in imports toward the end of last year. Both ports reported their lowest November import volumes in a decade. Other than minor work disruptions at container terminals in Los Angeles and Washington, there has been little impact on the port's cargo operations during these contract negotiations. According to sources familiar with the negotiations, there is currently an impasse over issues related to work in Seattle. The impasse appears to be preventing the parties from moving forward with negotiations on the use of automated machinery at the docks, wage increases, and other issues. I have the impression that the intention on the part of the ILWU is a bit unclear. I understand that they don't want to automate the port, but not moving forward with negotiations because of it is only a short-term measure to stretch the negotiations a bit. That said, there are still detours to the East Coast and Gulf Coast in case the port stops. Freight rates now are at about pre-corona levels, so I don't think they would seem so high after experiencing the peak. If that is the case, some shippers may prefer the more reliable East Coast. I will continue to watch for information on labor negotiations.